So to get started, you're going to want to create a new document. Generally, I like to choose something on the smaller side, so I do like 500 by 500 or 1000 by 1000. Those I find are pretty good numbers because the smaller it is, the less work you'll have to do. You'll see in a second. So pick your size. Normally, it's not going to look like this because I have gone to Window, gone to Workspace, and I have clicked Animation. Then I also go to Dockers and I put my brushes off to the side and I lift this up because it starts out really low down here. And I don't know, I like to be able to see all my glorious layers. So pretty much what I first start to do is unlock the background. And you're going to want to decide if you're just going to blanket color it or if you're going to add a line. Let's go with bright pink. It's eye-catching. So let's say this is our horizon or something. It's our line. We're going to use this as a base for the bouncing ball because the bouncing ball is pretty much the first animation you want to start off with since it's super easy. And this is going to be the long and dirty way. Like, I'm sure there's so many quicker ways to do it, but I'm going to do paint layer. Then I'm going to do a vector layer. And I'm just going to label this one start. It lets me know like which sequence it's supposed to go in because I've totally done the not labeling things at all and hitting copy and paste so many times that I'm not even sure which number I'm truly on. And I have to click through everything and see what it is. It's glorious. You should try it sometime. I'm just kidding. It's horrible. Now, go to your vector layer because the vector layer you can adjust your shapes, your lines. The only thing is you can't use the paintbrush, so brushes are not going to be super useful. But I find it's useful for when you put it down to the paint layer because you're going to want it in the paint layer to begin to create your frames. I have found that you can't click this, which would, what's it called? Start a blank one. Like you notice how it has that. But if we go to paint and then we click it, it has create blank frame. And that's just to start off with a clean slate, or I'll show you what I usually do with it because I love layers and that's how you fuck everything up. So try not to do too many layers. The manual says to try and, use this to do things and not have 9,000 different layers unless you're a maniac that likes to multitask. Yeah, that's me. Oh, yeah, so in Paint, if we make a circle, we can't adjust it. We can't change the size. The only thing we can do is hit Control-Z. Let's go back to our vector layer. Move this guy here. And you can start at the bottom, or you can start with a drop. Drops are kind of fun. Let's say that I want to start with the drop up here. And once you're happy with your vector layer, you're probably going to want to hit Copy Layer and then go to Merge with Layer below. Now there's a reason for this. Now if you hit that, it's going to wipe everything except for the background, but you're probably going to want to lock the background so you don't mess everything up. By everything, I mean your background. So let's bring the ball back. Bring the ball back. There we go. And then you're going to hit Control V, and you have the vector layer again. Again, enjoy a vector layer as you can move it down. Now you have two options. You can do the onion skin, which will give you kind of like an outline. Let me show you by moving the ball. It shows you like your last image. Comes in handy, trust me. And what I also like to do if I don't want to do the onion layer and I'm just being lazy, I'll go to opacity. So I'll still see the ghost of the image. And that'll give me a good starting base to move. Let's do a slow one. You really don't have to have a bunch of frames. I'm just doing it for the fun of it. And from there, you're going to want to go copy layer. And I will often go to convert to paint layer. And I'm going to do 2 drop. Typo, nobody really cares. And hit Control V or paste or what have you. And just turn that back up, hit the little eyeball, go to this, turn the opacity down, go to back to vector layer, and move the ball. You're going to want to go to convert. Oh, before you do that, copy layer. Convert, paint layer. Rename, 3 down. Now, like I said, this is the long layer intensive one, but I'll show you how to do it quickly in a second. And from there, we are going to hit Control V, turn this back up, hit the eye, go here, turn it down, go to vector, click, down. Rinse and repeat. Copy layer, convert to paint layer. Now you can have it just drop here, or you can create a kind of bounce effect. And to do that, you're going to want to go to your vector layer, click the circle, and have it scrunch down a little bit as if, it's a rubber ball and it's being kind of mushed or something as it hits the ground. And then I'm going to do copy layer, convert, do paint layer, squish. The only reason I'm starting you off this way is so that you get a feel for how your image progression is going to want to go. I find it works a little better that way. Vector layer, click, move it back up. And I forgot to do that. It's not really necessary. And you'll notice it, I forget, and I'll end up with like all these after images kind of thing going on. Gets confusing. Don't be me. Yeah. Vector, squish, copy, and I'm pretty much going to end it here. Convert layer. Okay, now let's bring everybody back. Make sure that you turn your opacity back up. Yeah, see if you don't hit the little eyeball or anything, you get all these, but hey, at least you'll be able to see what you're doing. Now, let's go to one start. We are going to want to start with duplicating this. And let's go, oh, here. There's a good one. Right click and hit create blank frame. Go to number 2. And I want to hit this button here. Let's shove that there. You're going to want these to be blank ones. And let's see, what did I do? 3 and blank. Rinse and repeat. Like I said, there's definitely easier ways. It's just this is more visual, gives you more to work off of. Anyways, I like to take the eyes off so that I can keep up with what I'm doing or, read it. That's why I numbered them. And let's go 3 and create blank. Up 1, 4, duplicate, drag, drop, and then 3, create blank frame, 5, up, So as you can see, it kind of is starting to come together. You can see your timing interval and where each image frame is. Yeah, that's the word. Might be a good idea to have the eye on it when you finish the last step, because without the eye, you cannot edit it. That is totally a saver if you accidentally hit wrong buttons like I do all the time, especially if you are using a drawing tablet. Anyway, so final one is vector layer. It's been changed to paint, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, let's have this one be the set end time. Okay, the ball is just going to disappear. Now let's bring everything back. And now, I usually keep it at 1 for play speed, but you can go as far down as 10. Well, I think it's 0.10, which makes it really slow, so you have a better idea of where, like, you're at in it, especially if you are like me and have all these layers. You're gonna want to know where exactly any discrepancies are. So yeah, I'd start off with like 30 for your first time, like 0.30. It's not the slowest, but it's also not super fast. Like I said, as you go up, the higher the number, the more, the quicker it comes. Yeah, that's it. Now, let's say you want to add music. There's this handy dandy little guy right here. I'm going to go to Open Audio. Now, since this is super short, we're going to go for the 2-second. And to have the music match up, one is generally a good number. I'm sure there's a way to adjust it or something. But hey, we're going with the easiest way possible. Uh, so let's see, that's the first project. Now this one is really easy, and you can do anything. You don't even have to really do a ball. You could make it a box if you want a bouncing box. Hey, that's easy too. So let's move on to the next project-y thing. The other way how to animate. That'll be in the next video.